girl. I'm a nice guy. Liquor in my cup, I gotta really toughen up. Yeah, nurse strap.
Hey guys, Manlykefresh here with my next pay-per-view prediction video, which focuses on WWE Survivor Series, which takes place this Sunday or tomorrow on the WWE Network and pay-per-view. Just a quick recap of how we got to this state. A couple of weeks ago, NXT invaded Smackdown and Raw, and we now have a triple threat pay-per-view where majority of the matches will be contended in triple threat rules. We have the WWE Championship on the line, and we also have the WWE Universal Championship on the line. But without further ado, let's focus on the matches that are at hand. And just a quick note that at the recording of this video, I hadn't watched, or Friday Night Smackdown, should I say, hasn't previewed yet, so there could be a few changes to the cards. But as of this present moment, Friday the 22nd of November, this is how the pay-per-view stands. So without further ado, let's go into the matches that are on the card. Right, I believe to kick off the pay-per-view, possibly on the pre-show, we're going to have Raw's United States Champion AJ Styles taking on NXT's North American Champion Roderick Strong against SmackDown's Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, this is a dream match. We all know, that Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles have had a clinic over the last year or so when they were wrestling for the WWE Championship when they were both on SmackDown. And if you add Roderick Strong into the mix, who is also a great athlete in his own right, we're going to have a great match here. However, there are a few aspects I want to focus on here. Shinsuke Nakamura's stock has dropped significantly over the last couple of years. This is due to poor booking and poor management decisions on his behalf. It ain't his fault. He's a great talent, but he's just been pushed in the wrong direction. I heard a rumor he could be getting a new WWE Intercontinel title. Whether that's true or not, we'll just have to wait and see. But I will give this match to Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong has been absolutely dominating with these Undisputed Era cohorts on NXT. I feel that NXT has got more to gain in this than any of the other brands, so I give this match to Roderick Strong. So Roderick Strong to win. And now we have the three tag team champions of all three brands taking on each other in a triple threat match. So we have Raw's tag team champions, the Viking Raiders, against NXT's tag team champions, the Undisputed Era, and then we have the SmackDown tag team champions, the New Day. Now, the New Day won the tag team champions from the Revival on a SmackDown edition 2 weeks ago, and ever since then we've been having NXT and Raw invading each other left, right and centre, and SmackDown have been doing the same. So, as I stated in the last prediction with Roderick Strong, the Undisputed Era has been on a very, very big roll, and I don't feel WWE is going to stop this now. I think NXT's got more to gain at this pay-per-view, so I give this match to the Undisputed Era again. So once again, NXT to pick up their second win at this pay-per-view. And we have our first elimination style 15 women match for brand supremacy, with Team Charlotte leading Kairi Sane, Sarah Logan, Natalya and Asuka against Team Sasha Banks, who has Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans and Carmella. But we don't have a team listed for NXT just yet, so I have a few predictions who I believe NXT will pick up, and I have a prediction of who the captain will be. So without further ado, let's have a look at the women of NXT and women who I believe are going to be representing this match. So my first prediction, I believe, will be NXT UK Women's Champion Kaylee Ray. Kaylee Ray is by far one of the best UK women NXT have right now, hence why she's the Women's Champion of the UK brand. She interfered in a ladder match this past week on NXT, which was to determine what will happen at NXT's War Games pay-per-view, which actually takes place tomorrow on Saturday before Survivor Series. She is a very good wrestler. She has a lot to offer, so it'll be a shame if WWE did not put her in this match. So Kaylee Ray is my first pick. My second prediction will be the number one contender for Shayna Baszler's NXT Women's Championship, Candice LeRae, also Mrs. Gargano. So, Candice LeRae is a very impressive wrestler. There's a reason why she's a number one contender, and I feel to have a number one contender and a wrestler of her caliber in this team will be very, very good. So, once again, my second choice will be Candice LeRae. My third prediction will be who I like to call NXT's Pitbull, Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai has been at every evasion that all the women of NXT have done, especially when they all attacked Smackdown Women's Champion Bayley a few weeks ago on Smackdown. So I believe Dakota Kai will be picked in this team, and Dakota Kai will be a person to reckon with in this match. So my third pick, Dakota Kai. And my fourth choice will be Bianca Belair. Now, when this whole NXT invasion started, the Smackdown after the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, the very first woman to invade was the NXT champion, Shayna Baszler. Now, the second woman to invade from NXT was this woman, Bianca Belair. She showed a lot of aggression, and just like Dakota Kai, she is another pitbull who I believe NXT can use to their advantage in this war against SmackDown and this war against SmackDown and Raw this Sunday at Survivor Series. So my next choice, once again, is Bianca Belair. And my fifth and final choice for Team NXT will be the former UK NXT champion for the women, the strong and almighty Rhea Ripley. Now, Rhea Ripley, I believe, will be the team captain as well, because not only is she a great leader, but she also has the power and the strength and of course the physicality to go along with it. She has the power of Charlotte Flair and has the intensity of Becky Lynch. Now, if you remember this past week on NXT, Rhea Ripley took on SmackDown, the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch in a one-on-one match, and despite the interference from other females outside, I believe it was SmackDown who got involved in that match, don't quote me on that, Rhea Ripley gave Becky Lynch a run for her money. In fact, I possibly believe if that match didn't get interfered on, I believe Rhea Ripley would have won that match. So, if you consider how dangerous this woman is actually in the ring, I believe they need someone like her to combat Charlotte Flair, because she's just as taller, if not taller, than Charlotte Flair. I believe she's a lot stronger than Charlotte Flair. And if you can also consider the fact that SmackDown has the wild card in Nikki Cross, she also has that unstable element in her as well to combat the likes of Nikki Cross. So my final pick, once again, and team captain of NXT, will be Rhea Ripley. Now that I've made my predictions for Team NXT, let's focus on the match at hand. So, Team Charlotte, who has the tag team champions on her side, in Asuka. Although Asuka's stock has dropped significantly since Charlotte beat Asuka at WrestleMania 2 years ago, she's still a dangerous member of this team. And on the other side, on SmackDown, we have Sasha Banks, we have the unstable Nikki Cross, and then we have the strong Dana Brooke. Now, even though I believe Sasha Banks and Nikki Cross are not on good terms right now, in fact they've never been on good terms, they proved that they can work together as a cohesive unit. If you remember last Smackdown, they took on NXT's best and they won, or they didn't win, they actually chased NXT away. So I believe I give this match to Team SmackDown. I believe WWE's got a lot to prove about the Team SmackDown. I give Sasha Banks the winning decisive victory. I believe she'd be the last woman probably standing in the match on Team SmackDown. So Team SmackDown to win this match. And we now have our first World Championship title defense with new Universal Champion Bray Wyatt taking on Daniel Bryan. Now, this was a shocker to me because Bray Wyatt actually defeated Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia 2 weeks ago, and he took the Universal Championship to SmackDown with him. So, as a result of this, a couple of weeks later, he attacked Daniel Bryan. And last week on Miz TV, Daniel Bryan and Miz had a confrontation on Miz TV with Bray Wyatt in his human form, should I like to say, on the Titantron, explaining the reason why he possibly attacked Daniel Bryan. Now, I feel the reason why The Fiend is targeting Daniel Bryan is due to the fact that back in the day when Bray Wyatt had Daniel Bryan in his team, Daniel Bryan turned on Bray Wyatt and embarrassed him in the ring. So I feel like The Fiend hasn't forgotten that. So The Fiend has attacked Daniel Bryan for that specific reason, hence why we'll have the title match. I can't see any reason why Daniel Bryan would possibly win this match, but the only way I can see Daniel Bryan winning this match is by disqualification. But I don't think it's going to go to that stage. I feel Bray Wyatt has been built to be an unstoppable force, and as Survivor Series is one of the big four pay-per-views, it can't end the same way as Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton ended at SummerSlam, which was another big four pay-per-view. So I give this match to Bray Wyatt to win possibly by the mandible claw, or to win by Sister Abigail. Now, out of all the matches on this card, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most. So we have Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch taking on NXT's Women's Champion Shayna Baszler and SmackDown's Women's Champion Bayley. So in this match we have three of the possibly biggest names in WWE history in terms of the women, but as the story has suggested, Bayley has been severely overlooked in this rivalry. They've mainly focused on Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch. I do feel, however, that could possibly be a good way to build up Bayley, as Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch in their own rights are known as dominant champions, whereas Bayley has still not been taken very serious by the WWE Universe, as she's just turned heel recently. So I feel the best way to build up Bayley would be to have Bayley win this match, so Bayley can prove that she is by far a force to be reckoned with. So Bayley to win this triple threat match. And we have our second World Championship match, where reigning, defending and dominating WWE Champion Brock Lesnar will be defending his title against the underdog Rey Mysterio. So, as you all were aware, this rivalry between Rey Mysterio and Brock Lesnar started a few months back, where Rey Mysterio was due to take on then Universal Champion Seth Rollins, but Brock Lesnar came out and brutalized not only Rey Mysterio, but he also brutalized his son Dominic. which led to Brock Lesnar's former rival from UFC, Cain Velasquez, to come out and interfere with Brock Lesnar later on after he won the WWE Championship from Kofi Kingston on the premiere edition of Smackdown on Fox. At Crown Jewel, Rey Mysterio's friend Cain Velasquez lost to Brock Lesnar, which has led to Rey Mysterio going absolutely crazy with revenge, trying to brutalize Lesnar at all costs. So this led to Brock Lesnar transferring from Smackdown to Raw so he could extract his revenge on Rey Mysterio, but we all know that's because Bray Wyatt has been moved to Smackdown with the Universal Championship, so they needed a WWE Championship on Raw. But nevertheless, this match is a no-holds-barred match and is a no-DQ match, which obviously means that they're trying to give Rey Mysterio the leverage to fight Brock Lesnar with tools, as on a one-on-one match, with Brock Lesnar being as big as he is and Rey being as small as he is, this won't end in a David versus Goliath way. This will end in Brock Lesnar dominating Rey Mysterio. However, I've heard a few rumours that Brock Lesnar is due to leave for a while. He's probably not going to be seen again until the Royal Rumble. So I don't know whether that means that WWE is planning on doing what they normally do with Lesnar, allowing him to take the title with him to his home for months upon end and have Raw with no championship. But I don't feel they're going to do that. So what I think has happened, because this has now been classified as a no DQ and no holds barred match, this will allow outside interference to intervene in this match. So I possibly believe Dominic and Cain Velasquez will come into the match and will get their revenge on Brock Lesnar at the expense of the WWE Championship. So I believe Rey Mysterio will pin Brock Lesnar and become the new WWE Champion. Whether that will be for a long period, I don't know. Maybe that's just until Lesnar comes back. But I do believe for now, Rey Mysterio, with the help of Dominic and Cain Velasquez, will beat the Beast incarnate and take the championship away from him. So Rey Mysterio to win. And now we have Team Rollins, who's representing Raw, taking on NXT and taking on Team Reigns, who is representing SmackDown. So, who are the guys that are going to be taking on Raw and SmackDown for NXT? I have a few predictions, and let's go through the predictions for Team NXT. And my first choice, I believe, will be Keith Lee. Keith Lee is by far one of the most agile big men in WWE. He has possibly got the same form of agility that someone like Samoa Joe has in the ring, and he's a lot bigger than Samoa Joe personally from what I can see of it, and yet he can do moves that you would expect from a cruiserweight, and also he has the power to combat SmackDown's Braun Strowman. So I believe Keith Lee will be definitely a contender to be in the NXT team. And also he's also led the charge of many invasions from NXT through this whole Survivor Series build up. So my first pick, Keith Lee. And my second choice will be the big man, Dominik Dijakovic. Dominic and Keith Lee are possibly two of the greatest big men on NXT with the agilities of cats. These two have had some great matches on NXT over the last couple of months, and they're even on the War Games team on the NXT pay-per-view tomorrow on before the Survivor Series pay-per-view. They both can work together, and they both have the power to take on the likes of Raw's Drew McIntyre and SmackDown's Braun Strowman. So I believe he will be another person on the team who will represent NXT. So my second choice, Dominik Dijakovic. And my third pick, I believe, will be Matt Riddle, the former UFC MMA fighter turned pro wrestler, has been one of the greatest attractions on NXT. He has the charisma, he has the power, and he has the stamina to go into a battle with NXT and to prove why NXT is one of the best brands, or if not the best brand in WWE right now. I do believe Matt Riddle could possibly be put into the match to help deal with people like Ricochet, who is on Raw, and possibly the likes of Ali or Shorty G on Smackdown. So my third choice, once again, Matt Riddle. And my fourth for Team NXT will be Adam Cole Bay, the NXT champion. Adam Cole and his undisputed era have literally run roughshod through NXT. They have all the major titles, and they literally have got NXT in the palm of their hands. Having said that, Adam Cole has also proved he can work alongside other NXT members just to show how good NXT really is. So not only is he a natural born leader, I also believe with the fact that he beat Daniel Bryan a couple of weeks ago on Smackdown for the NXT Championship, when Daniel Bryan challenged for the NXT Championship, Adam Cole has the potential to be up there with all the other top WWE superstars on Raw and SmackDown. So Adam Cole to be my fourth pick to represent NXT. And my final pick for the NXT team will be the former NXT and Universal and Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor. I don't think you can have an NXT team without one of the best WWE superstars there is. So Finn Balor obviously left the main roster to go back to NXT after his loss to Bray Wyatt a few months back. This is obviously to get married, but now he's come back to NXT. He's come back with a new energy, a new fire. He's now heel, and I feel Finn Balor will possibly have a lot of charisma going into this match. Can you just imagine Seth Rollins on one side, Roman Reigns on the other, and Finn Balor on the other team? All of those, there's plenty of former world champions in this match, but Finn Balor is probably the biggest name on NXT right now. So I believe Finn Balor will be the last pick for the NXT brand. So now that I have predicted who I feel will be on the NXT brand, let's focus on the main match itself. So we have Team Reigns of Baron Corbin, Strowman, Shorty G and Ali, with the team captain being Roman Reigns. And we have Team Rollins of Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, with Seth Rollins being the team captain for Team Raw. So if you consider all of the elements in all three teams, there is going to be a lot of backstabbing. So we all know Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin have, or King Corbin should we call him now, have a rivalry going on right now. On Raw side, Randy Orton cannot be trusted for anything. Him and Ricochet are kind of have a love-hate relationship going on right now. Drew McIntyre is not a team player. Kevin Owens, on the other hand, is another person to watch out for. He's known to be a good guy one minute, a bad guy the next. And Seth Rollins' ego is also out of control. And if you look on the NXT brand, we also have Matt Riddle, who also has a rivalry with Finn Balor going on right now. I do believe Matt Riddle and Finn Balor are actually due to fight at War Games on Saturday before Survivor Series. So expect a few backstabbings in team fighting, and which will lead to a few people being eliminated. I do believe the final result will probably be Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Adam Cole being the last 3 men in the ring. And I believe the last person to win the match, I believe, will be Adam Cole. And the reason why NXT, I believe, will win is because, one, like I said, the Undisputed Era has been very, very dominant on the NXT brand. They've won a lot of their matches. And I also believe this is the way that WWE is going to help the NXT brand stand out so they can be a legitimate, probably, contender for the AEW brand. So, that is my prediction. Adam Cole and the NXT brand to win this match. And we have come to the end of my prediction video. I do believe Survivor Series is going to shape up to be a really good pay-per-view. There is a lot of potential, and I just hope that WWE do not mess this up, as NXT's debut on a main event pay-per-view is about to happen tonight. Let's pray WWE doesn't kill the brand. So, a few things that probably could happen on the pay-per-view could be, I don't know, 24/7 championship, a battle royal on the pre-show to determine who will win the match. It will probably be spread with maybe 20 or 30 people across all 3 brands. But yeah, the pay-per-view is looking to be stacked, and I'm looking forward to seeing the outcome of this pay-per-view. So ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you're watching on YouTube, if you'd like to subscribe, hit the notification bell and like the video. So later on down the line, if you hit the notification bell, you can be updated on my latest videos. And of course, if you're watching on Daily Motion, which is my other channel, please like, follow, share the video, and please share the content with your friends and family. So ladies and gentlemen, Manlykefresh out. I will see you at the next pay-per-view. Take care. Bye bye.
Bad girl, I'm a nice guy. Liquor in my cup, I gotta really toughen up. Yeah, nurse strap.